And if you, thank you. Good job. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for making time and taking an hour out of your day to come and learn everything you need to know about Calgary. So I'm kind of curious. When we started to book these webinars for everybody, we tried to pick different times of day so that we would catch people in different parts of the world. So I know it's noon where I am. I'm in the mountain time zone. So how many of you are in morning yet? MORN. Hands up. Okay. There's a couple, one or two of you. How many of you are in afternoon? So anything before 6? All right. And then that means the rest of you are in evening. Fabulous. And some of you haven't figured out how to raise your hand. So welcome to all of you. If you're in evening, that means you're probably in Europe somewhere. And the folks in the morning either are, well, they're probably not in Australia. I think they're in the middle of the morning, I think. Wait, where are you from, John?
Lemoore, California.
That's right. Oh, that's why you're in morning yet. You've got another hour here before you get into noon. So anyway, thank you again for making time. My name is Darcy McAtishan. I'm the promotions co-chair for the HOC. I was hoping that Mark or Craig would be able to join us today. They're the co-chairs of the event that we're going to be having you join us at here in June. And I'm joined today by my colleague, Linda Morris, who has taken herself off camera because she's tending her grandson. There she is. She's taking care of all the technical stuff for us today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a lot of screen sharing. I'm going to try to keep my talk to 15 minutes or so, and then we're going to open it up for questions. And this is really an opportunity for folks to ask questions. If you've been to a convention before, you probably have some great questions about previous experiences and how that will play out in Calgary. For those of you that have never been to a convention before, you may have other questions. I'll quickly check in on that. Hands up if you've been to a convention before. Okay. All right. So I'm seeing about, oh, there we go. There's a few thumbs up. So about half of you have been to the convention before. Great. Well, if you haven't been, convention is a great experience. And we're going to try to help you appreciate how Calgary is going to be an amazing experience and talk to you a little bit about that. So I think, do you see, no, you probably don't. Let me get the slide deck up. You should see magic all on the screen. Is that accurate? I'll need somebody to say something. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Kim, for nodding your head there. All right, so let's get on with the show. So we're 51 days away from the convention starting on June the 21st. So time is flying very quickly, particularly for us at the HOC. We started doing presentations like this when that clock was more like 100, 110, 120 days. And so as Mark and Craig like to say when we get on these calls, it's getting real now. And so 51 days, and we'll be welcoming you in, I'm going to say, I live in Red Deer, but I'm going to say Calgary's Alberta's funnest city. Don't tell me I said that in Red Deer, Linda. So the two gentlemen that are kind of the big kahunas on the HOC side are Mark Sterrett and Craig Stokey. Unfortunately, they couldn't join us today. Just a couple of words about Mark and Craig. I think one of the things that kind of blew me away when I heard about this probably about a month or two ago is these guys have been working on this for 10 years. So they were part of the original bid committee. They co-chaired the bid committee. And then when the convention was awarded to Calgary, they were asked if they'd be prepared to co-chair it. So think about that for a little bit. 10 years these guys have been working on hosting this convention in Calgary. They've been to a number of conventions before. Mark is a past district governor. So these guys know a lot about Rotary. They've been around the Rotary world for a while. They've seen many conventions, and it's their goal to deliver what we're going to tell you is going to be the best convention you've ever been to. We're very proud to be hosting it in Calgary in Alberta, and we are working as hard as we can to deliver to you a premium experience. What we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about Calgary, just to give you a hint around what Calgary is like. And we really want you to walk away from this presentation understanding that we already think you're in Calgary. Calgary is a very Rotary-driven city. There's a lot of Rotary influence in this community, and there's some very dedicated Rotarians in the city. So we think you're going to feel right at home even before you arrive. We're going to spend most of our time going through our revised HOC website. And the message I want to leave with you today is this is the website to go to for everything you need to know about the convention. If we don't have an answer, we're going to point you to Rotary International's website. You can go find information there, particularly around registrations. But everything you need to know will be on this website. And if it's not there today, you just need to flip us an email and we'll make sure it gets up there so everybody can see it. And then we're going to share with you just a little bit of information on where you can find more information and updated information and how you can stay in touch with what we're doing over the next 51 days. So, Kimberly, I see your hand is up. I'll quickly check in and see if you got a question before I keep going.
Oh. Hang on, sorry. That was a boo-boo.
Okay, all right. I'm going to keep moving. So, first of all, for our American friends who are on the call, we're trying to make things a little easier for you in terms of our exchange rate. So it's very attractive traveling to Canada these days. The American dollar gets about $1.43 Canadian when you're up here. So for all of your accommodations, your meals, and any of your non-Rotary activities, you're going to be getting things at about a 40% discount. I should have asked if any of my Canadian colleagues are on the call. But even for my Canadian colleagues, while the Rotary registration and the signature event costs are all in US dollars, which is something just consistent from convention to convention, you'll be traveling to Calgary at par, you'll be staying in accommodations and having your meals at par. And so we think there's a bit of an economic advantage to be hosting this event in Calgary in Canada. And we hope that you will take advantage of that when you're up here, do a little shopping, do a little travel. I'm going to talk about some of the pre and post tours that are available for everybody. So Calgary, you're already here. This is kind of the catchphrase that our district promotions chair put together for us a number of months ago to say, you know what, this is a Rotary community and people are going to feel right at home when they get here. Rotary's made some significant investments in the city of Calgary. Rotary Challenger Park is an all-inclusive space that Rotarians from across the district can use for different types of gatherings that we need space for, as well as it's a great recreation spot in the north end of the city up by the airport that the residents of Calgary take advantage of all the time. The Rotary Mattamy Greenway is a 138-kilometer network encircling the city that stands out as the longest urban pathway in the world, built by Rotarians, connecting all elements of the city. So if you like to cycle and aren't bringing your bikes, we'll make sure you'll be able to rent some bikes and go for a ride or go for a walk on the pathway. But basically, when you get to the city, you're going to see a number of different landmarks where Rotarians have made investments in building a stronger community, because that's what we're all about. And of course, the other great thing about Calgary is Calgary has become this amazing eclectic blend of different cultures. So, you know, traditionally, Calgary has been the gateway to Western Canada and the Wild West. You're going to experience some amazing Indigenous culture. You're going to experience some amazing cowboy culture. When you're here, we've partnered with the Calgary Stampede, which is where the convention campus is. So everything you need is in one spot at the Calgary Stampede grounds. But over the last 10, 15 years, Calgary's also become a very contemporary city. Studio Bell has the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame, I believe, or the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. Linda can correct me on that. But Calgary is one of the youngest cities in the country. And we've got one of the most diverse populations in the country. So everybody will feel at home when they're visiting the city. So a couple of things that Calgary and Southern Alberta like to talk up a little bit is that Calgary was named as one of North America's top sustainable travel destinations in 2024. You know, we are the heart of oil and gas in Canada and in North America. However, very strong commitment to the environment and a very strong commitment to sustainable energy. So, for example, our public transit system in Calgary runs 100% on wind-generated electricity, which generally comes from southern Alberta. So Alberta, while being an oil and gas province, also is one of, if not the largest producers of turbine-based electricity in Canada. And so Alberta's been working hard over the last 10 and 15 years to diversify our energy streams. There's a number of different sources of energy here, and we celebrate it, and you'll see it all over the place. And of course, you're going to see it on the C trains, because one of the benefits of coming to Calgary for this convention is the city of Calgary is giving all Rotarians free access to the public transit system during the course of the convention. So all you need to do to get around the city, bus or C train, is show your Rotary name badge, and that will get you on all the public transit. Mentioned earlier, Calgary is one of the most diverse, third most diverse major cities in Canada. We're home to 240 different ethnic organizations with means we have a rich tapestry of world-class events, celebrations, and festivals year-round. So this convention fits very nicely into that and complements the culture that Calgary has built over the last 100 years. And Calgary is one of the friendliest cities you're going to ever visit. It was, in fact, voted the world's friendliest city by Condé Nast Traveler in 2023. So Calgarians are looking forward to hosting the world at the end of June. Just to give you a sense of what's going to be happening in Calgary in about a 30-day period, is the week before the Rotary Convention, the G7 will be meeting in Kananaskis. And so we're going to have thousands of politicians and diplomats in the city, hosting them both here and in the mountains. They leave on June the 19th, and Rotary takes over for the next 7 to 10 days. And then a week after that is Calgary Stampede, which happens every year for 10 days on the first Friday of July. And it's just an amazing experience that people from around the world travel to. Calgary is also very safe and very clean, very low crime rate. Calgary is a welcoming spot for all travelers. We've had a lot of questions about what's the weather like and what should I be packing for. So in June, when you're visiting us, the temperatures average about 20 degrees centigrade or 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Bring a light jacket. The evenings can get a little bit cooler, but it's also possible at that time of year that it'll be 30 degrees out. So kind of a diverse temperature change depending on what's going on. Maybe bring a raincoat just in case it rains, but usually what happens is the rain shows up in the evening to cool things off, and then you get a nice bright sunny day again. The other great thing for those of you that live south of us, which will be most of you, is sunsets at that time of year, probably between 9:30 and 10 o'clock at night. So Calgary has somewhere, we're going to share this with you. Calgary has something like 333 days of sunshine every year. It's one of the sunniest cities in the country. And of course, not only does the exchange rate work in your advantage, but we have no provincial sales tax in Alberta either. It's the only provincial jurisdiction in the country that doesn't. So the only sales tax you'll be subject to is our goods and services tax, which is a national tax at 5%. So this slide deck, you're going to have access to it. So I'm kind of moving through it quickly, but you'll have access to kind of go peek at everything else that's in here. And I'll show you how to get that when we're done. So of course, the other great thing about Calgary is that it's a base camp to adventure for all of Alberta. We're known for the Rocky Mountains. We're known for the hoodoos out to the east of us in Drumheller. And then as you go south into Waterton National Park, you'll go to Waterton's Rotary Peace Park. So there are just a host of different activities and destinations that you could visit. If you've never been to Alberta before, if you've never been to the Rocky Mountains, that is your bucket list post or pre-tour. When you get out here, we're an hour away from Banff, an hour and a half away from Lake Louise, 3 hours away from Jasper. There's plenty to see and some amazing World Heritage sites that you can visit. In fact, I think 4 or 5 of them are all within southern Alberta and within about 2 to 3 hours of Calgary. So the city's amazing, the city's vibrant, the city's young, but there's lots to see outside of the city as well. And I'm going to talk about that in a few moments when we go through pre and post tours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the rest of my time talking about the website. This is the place that we would like you to go to after we're done the call today. Explore a little bit on what's happening on our website. We are working hard to keep our website refreshed on almost a daily, but definitely a weekly basis. And everything you need to know about the convention can be found there. So I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. I'm going to go to the website and then I'm going to share again. Let's see if this works. There we go. And can you see the website? John, I'm looking at you. Give me a nod. You can't? You can? Very good. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight a few pieces of the website for you. The one that is most important for us at this point in time is we'd like you to sign up to our newsletter and get on our distribution list. And so when you go to the website, if you scroll down just under the clock, you'll get to our newsletter website where you can register with your name and email address. We don't get the information from Rotary International about who's registered. So many of you probably received an email from us in the last week or so. That's the only email you're going to get from us using that channel because Rotary International is very protective and respectful of everybody's privacy. And so they gave us one chance to send a note out to all the registrants. We've done that. Now, for those that are interested in staying up to date with what we're doing, we ask you to sign up here. You'll also notice that there's 3 social media links on there. We are publishing on a daily basis, 1 post a day on something that's happening in Calgary between now and the convention. So please follow us on all 3 of those social channels if you're on there, and we'll make sure that you're up to date on everything that's going on. The other thing that I'll draw your attention to on that cover page is if you go right to the bottom, we have a frequently asked questions section. So if you got a question that you can't find an answer to, check out frequently asked questions. If you can't find out an answer there, then I would encourage you to go to this address right here, info@rotarycalgary2025.org. Send an email, that goes to Linda. Linda will figure out who best to answer that question. And of course, where it makes sense, we will upload that to frequently asked questions or make sure the content's somewhere else on the website. So that's what the homepage looks like. I'm going to skip over You're Invited. I'll just give you a sense of what that's about. This whole section takes you to the Rotary International website. This is where you register for the event. So if you know people that haven't registered, or if you're on this call and haven't registered yet, you can come over here, click on You're Invited. It will walk you through the registration process. Of course, remember you need a rotary.org user ID to register, but you can do that right from there. The next section I want to spend a little bit of time on. These are the events that we're most proud of and we're just excited to show everybody. And they're all of the signature events. And for those of you that have been to a convention before, you'll know that signature events can be one of the many highlights of a convention. For those of you that haven't been to one before, you're going to find that out in Calgary. We have signature events scheduled for every night of the convention. And so starting on June 21st, Saturday evening, is what we're calling the Amazing Grandstand Spectacular. And so the Calgary Stampede every year, this facility can hold between 25 and 30,000 people. Every night of the Calgary Stampede, they put on a Grandstand Spectacular. And they're working with us to put together a Rotary version of a Grandstand Spectacular. Now, I got to tell you that this is a very unique and special thing for Calgary. The Calgary Stampede doesn't do this for just everybody. In fact, in chatting with some of my colleagues, the last time they can think of when the Calgary Stampede put together a grandstand show for an outside body was the last time Rotary had their convention in Calgary, which was 1996. You will have an amazing time at this event. So this event is Saturday evening, longest day of the year from a sunshine point of view. So there's plenty of time for people to arrive in the city at the afternoon of Saturday, the 21st. We encourage everybody to do that. The show will start at 8 o'clock. It'll end at about 10:30, probably 11. And you're going to be blown away by some Western heritage, some Indigenous heritage, and some of the contemporary things that are going on in Calgary with drones and a fireworks show that you probably have not experienced before. So if you've been to the Calgary Stampede, you've seen a hint of this. If you've never been, this is going to be one of those memorable things that you take away from your experience. The other piece that will remind you for the Stampede Spectacular, or the Grandstand Spectacular, is that we're working with Tourism Calgary to host Calgary's largest white hat ceremony. And so the white hat ceremony is a unofficial, the white hat ceremony makes you a official Calgarian. It's our way of showing Western hospitality to important people that come to our community. Pope John Paul, several presidents of the United States have been inducted in the white hat ceremony, and other world leaders that have visited the city have been inducted in the ceremony. And so we're going to be inducting all of you in this ceremony. So that means you will need to pick up your white hat. And I'm going to show you in a moment how you can get your white hat and order it before you arrive in the city. So all of the signature events I'm showing you, tickets are on sale now. Tickets are moving quickly. They've started moving even more quickly after we sent our email out and we've started to have these webinars. So we would encourage you to get your tickets early. Some events are actually sold out already, and other events are crossing the 50 and 60% mark in terms of ticket sales. So as we go through these, please take a moment in the next few days to explore what's interesting to you and book your tickets. So that's the grandstand on Sunday evening. There's two choices for you to make, rock or symphony. You can choose the one you want to participate in. So Sunday evening, you can do Rock in the Big Four Roadhouse, which is a celebration of 70 years worth of Canadian music put on by an organization called Rock the Nation. A number of people in the HOC have seen this, and they have told us that it will just blow you away. But the other choice that you have on Sunday is New Blood with the Calgary Civic Symphony. And New Blood is a performance put on that explores Canada's Indigenous history. And so we wanted to make sure that people had a choice of different options that they could take a look at for entertainment and have some of that entertainment be educational and informative. And so Sunday evening, you have a choice between rock and roll and the symphony. And then we go to Monday night, and I'll show you Monday night, but this is one of those events that's already sold out. We have 2,200 people registered for our home hospitality. And host hospitality was actually started in Calgary in 1996 at that convention. And it was Rotarians in Calgary hosting Rotarians from the world in their homes. Over the last 29 years, it's evolved, taken on different iterations. We're getting it. We're going to try to do as much of that original host hospitality as we can. So if you're one of the people that signed up for host hospitality, you may be going to a Rotarian's home for dinner, or a number of clubs outside of the city, mine, for example, are putting on events hosting 100 Rotarians at a time. And I know our events out in the Rocky Mountains, other events are in communities like Cochrane and Airdrie and Drumheller. Drumheller, I think, might be doing one. And so, so it is sold out. I'm afraid there's no waiting list for it, but wanted to share this with you. If you're attending host hospitality, looking forward to having you if you've already got your tickets. And just to give you a sense, events are moving quickly. And then on Tuesday night is kind of our wrap-up night. This will be the last signature event of the week. And that's our Western Ranch Showcase, which will be in the Nutrient Center, which is on the Stampede grounds. But again, another experience of Western culture and an event that will be a great opportunity for people to come together, say goodbye, celebrate the week that had been, and get ready to go home. Now, the one thing that is not on here that I'm going to tell you about, and you're going to be one of the first people to know about this, even amongst Rotarians in District 5360, is that Calgary Stampede is known for their pancake breakfasts. When you're living in Calgary during Calgary Stampede, every major company, service club, Rotary clubs host pancake breakfasts. And so our gift to you from the HOC is we're hosting a pancake breakfast for all 15,000 registrants. Between the opening ceremonies, there will be 2 opening ceremonies on Sunday. You'll get free pancake breakfast served by us, and you'll get to experience what a Calgary Stampede pancake breakfast is all about. So you can look forward to more details on the website once we have some details there. And of course, get your cowboy hat. You can come over to the website. They're 35 US. The great thing about buying your hat now is we're not going to ship it to you. You order your hat, you give us the size, and when you show up in Calgary and register, you'll go to the House of Friendship and you'll pick up your cowboy hat. And if you don't happen to have a hat of the right size, we'll have a few extras around anyway to make sure that it fits just perfectly.
And Darcy, on the hats, the site does ask you to put a shipping address in. Don't worry, just put whatever shipping address you want. We will not ship the hats. It's a glitch in the system. It requires a shipping address, but we're not shipping them.
Okay, thank you for that. And I'll maybe go in and update the website on that. So that's all about the amazing experiences that you're going to have each night that you're at the convention. I'm going to move along here a little more briskly. The Blue Sky City section talks about Calgary. So it's kind of the basic information you need to know about the city. Calgary 101 is some material that we've put together as an HOC, talks a little bit about the passes, transportation passes, etc. But if you have some time, go to Explore Calgary. Calgary Tourism has been an amazing partner with us since the bid and in securing this event. They've put together a terrific website for Rotarians to look at, and they're actually working on some great programming that they're going to release probably in the next 30 days around a shopping pass that Rotarians can access that will get you discounts at different places around the city. So they're very heavily invested in making sure you have a great experience. So take some time to explore that. The other thing I wanted to spend a moment on is the pre and post tours. So when you come in here, these are a key element of every Rotary convention, the opportunity to check things out around the convention city before and after. And when you come in here, you'll see a couple of videos about, you know, what it's like to be an Albertan. And if you go over here to booking the tours, we're going to take you to an outside site that will walk you through all of the tours that are available. So I'll just quickly touch on them. First of all, for those of you that have an interest in learning more about our Indigenous culture, we've got 3 Indigenous tours that have been put together, from 1-day tours to 4-day tours, I believe. So you can come in and learn more about what those tours look like. Some of them are right around the city of Calgary. Some of them will take you up into northern Alberta, Edmonton, Mountain View County, Smoky Lake, places like that. So some great ways to explore our Indigenous history. Rotary clubs have come together to put together Rotary vocational and fellowship tours. So for folks who've got an interest in agriculture and food production, there's a vocational tour around that. The folks down in the southeastern part of the province in Brookson area are putting together some tours and vocational ones. And I'm going to put a plug in for our Central Alberta Fellowship Tour, which my club is part of putting together, which will bring you up here for 3 days. You'll spend a day at a rodeo, and then there'll be a day of you choose your activity. And then we've partnered with the Stettler Rotary Club to put you on an old-fashioned steam train for dinner. So it's going to be a great opportunity for you to experience our province outside of Calgary. All of the clubs that are putting something together here are very proud of the regions and looking forward to showing it off to you. Also, if you're traveling with somebody who's not going to the convention and they're looking for something to do, there will be day tours and half-day tours in and around the city that people can take advantage of under this June 21st to 24th afternoon tour section. So you can come in and check all of that out to see what those activities will look like. And then there's kind of the traditional stuff. Going out to Banff, taking, you know, there's a 12-day tour for those of you that want to train into the ice fields, Jasper, and end up in Vancouver. And so there's a host of different tours that you can take. You find that some of them are already sold out. We've been told that some of them are selling out quickly. And but we also have been apprised by the tour company that they're trying to make alternative arrangements to add more tour inventory on, because there's, you know, a lot of interest in going to Banff, Canmore, Lake Louise, etc. So lots for you to see when you come to Alberta outside of Calgary and the convention. You may need a holiday from your holiday when you're done visiting Calgary. So I'm going to touch on a couple other things, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. This necessities section, if you haven't booked your airline tickets yet, check out the airline discounts that are being offered by Canada's two major airlines, WestJet and Air Canada. And in the section, you will find out the numerous direct destinations, particularly in the United States, that fly directly into Calgary. So find out what direct flight is closest to you. That might be an option. But if you're tuning in from Europe, for example, you'll find direct flights from places like Frankfurt, London, both airports in London, actually, and other parts of Europe that have direct flights into Calgary. The great thing about Calgary is if there is no direct flight, you're one connection away. You're probably Toronto, Montreal, or Vancouver, and then you're into the city. So it's a very easy place to get to. We've heard some questions about hotels. So I'm going to draw your attention to the section called Where Do I Put My Head Down? And in Where Do I Put My Head Down, you will find all of the options for accommodation available. There's the official Rotary housing block. You'll find information on this on Rotary International site. And of course, they've got great hotels. Many of these are full, but I'm going to comment on that in a minute. And then there's hotels beyond the block. This section will take you to every hotel room that's available in Calgary, so you can search through that. We've worked with Mount Royal University and the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology to secure campus space. So for those of you that want to travel on a budget, these are great facilities that they have. These are newer facilities. Both of these campuses have built over the last number of years. So you can stay in Calgary for $60 a night if you want to, at a great place. SAIT is right on the LRT line, and Mount Royal is about a 20-minute bus LRT ride away. And then, of course, Airbnb, VRBO, and for any campers on the call, there are also camping options. We know the camping options are getting to be few and far between, but they might be there. Here's the thing I would encourage you to do. You almost need to check this site daily. There are a number of people that have registered for the convention that booked hotel rooms that are finding out that their visas are not being approved, and so they're canceling their hotel space. So if you have a hotel and you're hoping for something different, keep checking here. If you don't have a hotel room, don't cancel your registration. There are plenty of hotel rooms in the city. Just keep checking in here. And of course, anybody staying with the Rotary housing block, there will be transportation from your hotel right to the convention campus. But for those of you that aren't in the housing block, you have free transit passes, and we're looking at different ways of making sure that people can get from their hotels to the LRT lines, either by bus or some other method, and then hopping in the LRT and getting downtown. So if you're looking for hotel space and accommodation, or your friends and colleagues are looking, make sure you point them to that section. The other place I'm going to draw your attention to is signing up to volunteer. So we need about 2,000 volunteers to pull off this convention. And I think right now we're sitting between 1,000 and 1,200. Linda might correct me on those numbers. But if you'd like to give us 4 hours of your time during your time in Calgary, either at the convention site itself, or you want to meet some Calgarians and go work on a LRT platform or welcome people at the airport, there will be plenty of opportunities for Rotarians to volunteer. If you decide to volunteer for 2 8-hour shifts, you get your own cowboy hat and a whole bunch of other great Rotary garb. So a little bit of an incentive there to sign up to volunteer, but if you can spare us the time, we'd really appreciate it. And then the last thing I'm going to draw your attention to is I'm going to take you to this Magic All Around section. And if you go into promotional material there, you're going to find 3 buttons. And it's the button on the left I want to draw your attention to, Spread the Word. If you go into Spread the Word, you will find a copy of this presentation right here called Everything You Need to Know About Calgary. If you go into the videos, folder, you will find all of the videos that are profiled on the website. If you need to download them to share with your club members or to do a presentation or something, they're all there. And as we do these webinars, we will save the webinars into the webinar folder, so you can always come back and review that. So there's plenty of information here, and plenty of places where you can get answers to the questions that you might have. So I think with that, I am going to stop talking, turn off the share, and I'm going to just take you back. I'm just going to look at the slide deck here really quickly. Yeah, so I'm going to do 2 more slides, a little video, and then I'm going to be done. So just give me a moment. All right. So are you back? Are we back to the countdown to Calgary? Is that what you see? Yeah. So just a reminder, please sign up for the newsletter. As soon as you get off the call, go to the website, register for the newsletter, sign up for the social media channels. And this way you will be informed. As we know things, you will know things. And I can tell you that things are changing weekly. So the HOC, we have a meeting again this afternoon. We meet every Wednesday. And as new things are evolving, we're updating the website and updating our social channels. So you'll learn, you'll be up to date on everything as we have it. And then I'm going to leave you with a video, and then we're going to do some questions.
Break it down, pick it up, play it all again. I love it when you again and again and again, again and again. Automatically fantastic, gotta have it, love it, love it.
Oops, sorry.
So what are we doing tomorrow?
All right. I'm done. Let's open it up for questions. Kim.
Yeah, hi. I'm just wondering about the agenda for the convention itself, the speakers, the daytime stuff.
Yep. So Rotary International has started to release what that looks like on their website. And I think they're doing some posts on social with that. Typically what they do is about a month before the event itself, they release the entire agenda. And one of the things that Rotary will be doing is they'll also be releasing an app that will allow you to download the entire let's call it the business portion of the program, so that you can start to go through and identify what workshops you want to go to. Kim, have you been to a convention before?
No, I have not.
So for those of you that haven't been to the convention, just very roughly, here's how it works. Opening ceremonies will be on Sunday. There will be 2 of them. There'll be one in the morning and one in the early afternoon. And you'll go to pancake breakfasts either before, well, you'll go to pancake breakfast before your workshops or between. They'll be operating. And then Sunday night, we'll be putting on an event, a couple of events for you. Then Monday and Tuesday in the morning, there's a plenary session, typically from 9 till 11. And then the breakout sessions usually start about 10:30 and go for the remainder of the afternoon. So that's what Monday and Tuesday look like from a format point of view. Wednesday's a somewhat similar format, shorter plenary in the morning, afternoon sessions, and then the closing ceremonies will be Wednesday afternoon. We know Rotary International right now is playing around with the agenda on Wednesday in terms of what time the closing ceremonies are. So that may shift a bit, but that's generally speaking what the program looks like. And when Rotary International starts to release the information about the details of that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Catherine.
Thank you, Darcy. What a wonderful introduction video to Calgary. Very excited about coming. My
Very
question
good.
is, I will be attending the pre-convention with Youth Exchange. Will that
Yes.
also be held at the Calgary Stampede, or does anyone know the location where those workshops will be held?
Great question. I'm looking. Linda can probably feel my eyes looking at her on the screen, wondering if she knows.
I'm
where
sorry,
Youth
I was reading the comment box. Which workshops are we talking about?
I'm
The
sorry,
Youth
it's the
Exchange
pre-convention with the Youth Exchange.
Oh, it's all in the same place. It's in the BMO Center.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll be there. I'll see you.
Yay.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, I agree with Catherine. Great orientation presentation that you did here. I've been to about 8 conferences internationally, and this is one of the better ones that I've heard. I'm just wondering, what kind of numbers are you looking at? I know we have about 40 from our district that are coming up, but what kind of numbers in total are you looking at for the conference?
Yeah, right now the numbers very strong. We're over 15,000 on the paid side.
Yeah.
And then we have a significant number of unpaid registrants. And right now what we're waiting for is we're waiting for them to get visas. And so the challenge we're hearing about this year is getting visas has been a little bit more time consuming or challenging for some. So we're hoping that that number is going to go up from where it's at. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Sorry, I saw where Kim. There she is. Kim is waving.
Hi, thank you. I can't figure out how to raise a hand in the system. I love the presentation. Thank you so much. I have never been to a Rotary convention. I'm new to Rotary, so this is great for it being now. But I have a question. I went to another Rotary gathering and they mentioned a peace park where there will be presentations in the peace park, but I can't find anything about that on the Rotary site. Is there information about the peace park available?
Linda, have you heard anything?
The Peace Park, we do a Peace Park Hands Across the Border, but that's in September down in Waterton. But what you might be thinking about is the Peace Pole. We are hoping to install 2 peace poles in Calgary. We don't have the peace poles here yet. It's the only
That
thing
is
I
what
can
I'm
think of.
thinking of. I was told specifically it's called the Peace Park. At least that's what I wrote down. Maybe I made a mistake. Anyway, I will get back to the person who told me a little bit about it in another forum. Thank you.
And you know what, Kim, once you have a little more information, just go to info@rotarycalgary2025.org and we'll help you out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Adrian.
It's Shirley, actually. Adrian's my husband. We've tried several times to book for the symphony, and each time it comes up and says, when we get to the Ticketmaster site, your browsing history has been paused, and we can't find any way around it. Has anybody else had difficulty, or is it a problem with our browsing?
On our side of
Yeah.
I went to Ticketmaster in the United States and was able to book it in Canada.
Right.
Put in the name of the, what is it called?
New Blood.
The name of New Blood, and it will come up. Any Ticketmaster in any country. You're going to Ticketmaster Canada when you do it from their site, and that's a problem.
Right. We went through the link that was provided in the email that was sent to us.
That part's not working well if you're outside of Canada. That's the problem I had. I went to my local Ticketmaster and put in New Blood and found it.
Ticketmaster UK comes up with the same thing.
Apparently Ticketmaster UK comes up with the same thing.
Eek, I can't help with that.
Okay,
So
you know what? We've got Linda on the line, and Linda's kind of one of our leads on this. So I think maybe you guys can connect after.
Yeah, just send me something to info and I'll get Grant, who's talking to Ticketmaster, to see if they can sort it out.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. David.
Yeah, hi Darcy. I don't know if I heard you mention an app earlier on, but when I went to Singapore last year, which was my first one, the Rotary app had all of the program on it. Is that going to happen again for this year?
Yes, it will.
Super, because that I found that really useful last time, because you can schedule what you
Yeah.
wanted. For those that haven't been before, go onto the app. You can see all of the seminars and the workshops, and you can make sure that it pings you a reminder. It was great.
Yeah, and just to build on that, David, Singapore was my first convention as well. And one of the things that, if you've never been to the convention before, we get this question a lot: when can I sign up for my breakout sessions? And the answer is you can't. All of the breakout sessions are on demand. So it's really important, once you get that app, to go through the schedule, figure out where you want to go, and have your walking plan in place to get there. Because once the workshop fills up, they close the door. Okay.
Is that app downloadable, Darcy? Now?
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know if it's available now. You'll get an email from Rotary International when the content of it is available. And they have pretty good instructions on how to get it on your phone.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm looking at the screen and looking at the chat, and Jillian is asking, we're staying with family in Calgary. Can we buy tickets for them to attend the spectacular Rock in the Big House? Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can. So you just go to the website and pick up the tickets you need. Tom's purchased two tickets and 2 hats. Great. Thank you. We appreciate that.
And just so you know, when you buy the 2 tickets, you can't put them in the same person's name, because they send you an email and say you can't have 2 of the same names. So if you have 4 people, put in all 4 names.
Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise we consider it a duplicate and we cancel the other 3.
Yeah. They said, and I go, oh, no.
So Linda, you'll be able to answer this question. I have order numbers for other events. Do we pick up tickets when we get to the convention? Haven't had a confirmation by email.
We're going to send out all the tickets soon to everybody, because we did have a bunch of duplicates and we've deleted duplicates, and we don't know if we deleted the tickets you actually hold or the ones you don't hold. So we're working on opening up a customer portal so you can actually go in, download your tickets, see your invoices and all of that. But regardless, before you get here, you will get a fresh set of tickets from us, one way or the other.
And so, Linda, are all the tickets being delivered electronically? Is that how we're doing?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
You know, physical tickets to pick up. Kim, is the Central Alberta tour still available? Yes, it is. Get a group of friends and buy lots. Then you're coming up to my part of the world. All right. That's my plug for today. There's a question about which C train station is closer to the BMO the BMO Center. That'd be the Victoria Park station. I can't remember the name of the other one. I want to say
Earlton.
Earlton.
Yeah, it's just down the other end of the park. You'd have to walk a bit, but
yeah, it'd be a 10-minute walk at most. I mean, it's still relatively confined given other spaces around the world. Lynn, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, there's been a lot of bouncing back and forth related to the visa in the United States and whether or not we need the ETA. So is there a definitive decision on our passport will get us across the border?
From the United States?
It should do.
Yes.
But I know a lot of countries are putting ETAs in, and I know we have one, but I don't think it's for the States. I'll look quickly while you're chatting.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't believe I'll wait for Linda to answer, but I don't believe it's.
Yeah, last we saw, that's what we understood, but then with there was a little confusion there, so I wanted to make sure there was clarity.
Yeah. I'm just taking a look here at the chat. Oh, Bonnie's already answered. We cross the border every week for our district meetings, and you only need your passport or your Nexus card.
Yep. And that's what the site says.
Yep. All right,
Perfect.
John.
Thank you.
I tried to print the tickets that I bought to one of the events, signature events, and I tried to get it on my phone. and I'm not literate with phone, so it wouldn't print. So it's electronic, right? You got to get them on your phone somehow or another. How does that happen?
Well, you can print them if you have them. And worst case, we will have booths in the registration center, and you can come and see them if you've had trouble with your tickets.
It
And we
wouldn't
can
print.
print them there.
It had an error about overload or something. It wouldn't print. So.
All right, we'll fix you up, not to worry. You'll get in.
All right, thanks.
So is that the hospitality house?
The booths.
The booths are for all the signature events and the host hospitality. We have booths in the registration just for people to answer questions, take more sales, print tickets, guide people. It's just an information booth. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Lynn, do you have another question?
No, my apologies.
That's okay. Tim? Oh, you're on mute there, buddy.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks. That was just been great. Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
Thanks.
I have a question.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna go to Tim and then I'm gonna come to you, Sandy.
Okay.
Right. So my question is you had a lot of these webinars or Zoom meetings that are scheduled. Are they all going to be the same content, or are the later ones going to be different content?
No, we're basically taking this format and repeating it to make sure everybody gets an opportunity.
Okay, I'm going to pass along the link to everybody, but yeah, I scheduled a bunch of them. I thought if they're going to be the same, I probably don't need to do them more than once. So, okay, thank you.
You're welcome to bring 5 friends with you, and you and John could start a whole group. You guys could just come in early and you could get everybody warmed up. All right, thanks. Sandy?
I think I had the same question that John mentioned. I got tickets for the Grandstand Spectacular, and it kept saying get your tickets here, and I kept getting an error message. So I took a screenshot that I paid for it. Is those the tickets that you're talking that we're going to get emailed sent to us, or we need to check in somewhere else for that?
Yes, and if you're anxious to get them now, just send an email to events@rotarycalgary2025.org, and Denise will send you a copy.
Okay, so as long as I have like the screenshot that I paid for them, then I'm good to go.
Yeah, you'll get a ticket one way or the other.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sandy.
Turn the water on, girls.
All right, we're 5 minutes to the top of the hour, so kind of a last call here for questions. Want to respect your time.
I can exit here. It was a good call.
All right, I don't see any other hands going up in the air, and I think we've covered everything that's in the chat. So with that, thank you all for making time.
Thank you.
We're very excited to be seeing you in Calgary in 51 days. And I'm going to be looking for each one of you. So if you see me walking around, make sure you tap me on the shoulder and say hi.
All right.
Okay. Take care, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Well done.
Thanks. Are we still recording?
Oh, yep, let's stop that.